how to take advantage of templates inside of MailingBoss so that you can build one template and then pull that in and put the content of your email in. So it's really a neat way to kind of pre-design your emails and make sure that you've got maybe a header, maybe you've got a footer down at the bottom, maybe you've got some standard links that you want to send out in every single email. You can set all that up ahead of time and then pull that template in and then put your content in and it's ready to go. So let's actually play with that a little bit and see how we can do that. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So I'm going to jump in and share here. And then we'll go to this right here, and we'll go to apps and MailingBoss, because that's what we're going to work in today is MailingBoss. And so I'm hopping into MailingBoss right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to this left-hand side, and I'm going to click menu. And there's a bunch of neat items on the menu for sure, but the one we're going to look at today is templates. So let's go ahead and click templates, and then I'm going to go to my templates. When I click that, I'm going to show you the templates that I have. I have several different templates that I use for different types of emails. And when I click on these templates, like let's say this one right here, if I click on to take a look, well, I can't click on that one, I'll edit. So if I click to update it, you'll see that I put together one that has a title at the top, and then some text, and then 2 pictures, and another title, and then a footer at the bottom. So this is probably a template that I created when I was doing a training at some point, because there's really not anything in there. But I want you to imagine if I pre-designed this to have a specific title at the top, a specific image, then areas to put my content, you can see how easy it would be to grab this template in and then just start putting my content in. So let's take a look at, oops, there's another wiggle. Let's take a look at another template that I've got. So I'll click my templates, and I'm going to click this one right here and edit. And now you can see that this is another design template, and I can start editing these items right here. I can edit the text right here. You can see how awesome this design is. And this design is actually from the gallery. I didn't make this one. This is actually from the gallery, which we'll look at in a few minutes. And it's a little bit different because it doesn't use the same email editor that we have in our regular emails. This uses a dynamic toolbar to actually do a lot of different things with this email. So as you're working with the email and you click inside, you can actually do a lot of stuff with the text. You can add images and forms and all kinds of neat stuff. So this one's actually a little bit harder to edit because it's not as cut and dry as the newer editing system. But if you play with it a little bit, this is very powerful in how you can make your templates look, and you can create a very nice looking newsletter. So now let's take a look at the menu, and then we'll go to templates again. And now I'm going to go to gallery. When I go to gallery, these are pre-made templates that are already created for you to be able to use and edit with your information. And let's take a look at how many there are. So I'm going to scroll down. And when I get to the bottom, you'll see that there are 7 pages of these. So lots and lots and lots and lots of templates. And what you can do, this is one of the templates, and this is the exact one that I pulled into my template area. If I click right on the template, it opens it up, and I can see what that template looks like, and if it's something that I want to use for my newsletter and maybe edit just a bit. So there's lots of different designs. Let's take a look at this one. And if I expand it, you can see the design of the template. So you see, these are beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. So there's lots and lots of templates to choose from. And all it takes is you just kind of clicking through them and taking a look at them. Now, once you find one that you really like, let's say we look at this one, and we're like, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. I want that to be in my template list because I will use that when I send out emails. So what I do is I go to that template and I click import. So if I click import, that promos music class will now show in my template area. So that takes me back to my template area, and there's that template. And now I can start editing and make it my template. So I can start editing in here, and I can change the pictures, I can change the content, I can change the buttons. There's a little divider right there with a button right there. There's so much that you can do in here, so you can start editing. But let's say that you don't really want to pull a prepared template in. You want to create your own templates with your own design. Well, you can definitely do that. So let's talk about how to do that. So I'm going to go to menu and templates and my templates. There's all my templates, and I have this magical button here that's create new. So I can create a brand new template that's blank and start building it. So I'm going to click create new, and you'll see it looks very similar to our email editor, right? So all I do here is just pretend like I'm building a template for my emails. So typically the way I do my emails is I actually pull an image and put it at the top, And then I sometimes have some separated text and image side by side. So here's a couple of items. One of them is an image and then text, and the other one is text and then an image. So I can click and drag that. And then I'll put another text box underneath that. So text block, put it there. And then this time I'll do text with an image. And so you can see I'm starting to put together a pretty neat little design on how I want my emails to look. Then the next step is to actually create a header and create a footer for your email. Now, you have to have these? No, but this is the way I like to do it. So I'm going to show you an example of a header that I made and a footer that I made. So I'm going to go to my Trello board. And this is the same Trello board that you guys have access to. So I'm going to take you to the Builderall board, not that one, but Builderall resources. There we go. And on this board, you've got an email section. And I'm going to pull up the premium plan emails that are sent out by Builderall. And I'm just going to open up that first one. And this is how I use the template builder for your emails. If you're on the premium plan, you're going to get an email that has a header that looks like this. So that's just a graphic I made. It's very, very simple. I put the Builderall logo and then premium plan underneath it. And then I pulled in an image of cheetah. And then at the bottom, I have the same color bar as what I have in the top in this little banner up here. So that's all I did, you guys, was create a rectangular banner. And I put whatever I wanted in that rectangular banner that I wanted to see at the top. And then I put a bar at the bottom to indicate that was the bottom of the email. Another thing that I did was I created a text box or a text area. And on every single premium plan email that goes out, it will always have these links at the bottom. Always. And that's a link to the Builderall dashboard, a link to the official Facebook group, a link to the affiliate Facebook group, a link to the Builderall community Facebook group, a link to the YouTube channel, a link to the Builderall blog, and a link to the event calendar. So every single premium email that goes out will have that on there because it's on the template. And then of course at the bottom, it will always have the unsubscribe information and then the company information as well. So the only thing that I put in there is actually this information here, which was the content of the actual email, and that's it. So you can see how powerful that is, that now every time an email goes out to the premium plan, they get the same header and the same footer. So let's take a look at a different design. So I'll close that one. And we'll look at maybe the, let's say the free website plan. So I click on that, and let's take a look at one of those emails. So when I click on it, you'll see that it's actually a different header, right? It looks different. So if you're in the free website plan, you're going to get this header in all of your emails, and then the same footer, but you're going to get different resources. Remember that the premium plan has access to more of those Facebook groups. So the free plan is going to have a link to the dashboard, a link to the Builderall official group, and a link to the Builderall USA YouTube channel. So that will be on every single email that the free plan users get. So you can see how I can now create different templates for different emails that I'm sending out in the Builderall company, and each one's going to look a little bit different and will have different resources in them. So let's look at one more. So I'll close this up and close that one up, and we'll open up the next one. So let's say that they're essential plan. So we'll look at essential, and I'm going to look at this email, and you'll see that again, it's something different. It says Builderall essential plan. It's got a little bit different graphic, a little bit different background here, but the bottom is again that blue bar. And then I've got different resources for that plan as well, depending on what they need to have access to because their plan level. And then of course, all the information down here is the same. So you can see how you start getting a lot of power in your emails by creating templates. So you can put everything that you want in there that is the same all the time, and then create your space for the actual content that you want to put in. So let's go ahead and see if we can work together to create some templates. And I'll show you the exact process I go through when I do this. So I'm going to go ahead and go into GIMP. Let me look at your eyeballs so you can see exactly what I mean. GIMP, G-I-M-P, is a free program that allows you to create graphics pretty much on the fly. It is a Photoshop Lite. It's very, very powerful. And you can find it at gimp.org, G-I-M-P.org, okay? And it's a great program to create really, really fast graphics like what I'm going to show you. So let's go ahead and jump in, and I'll show you how to create a quick header for your email. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And I'm going to go into GIMP. And again, GIMP is very, very powerful. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to create a rectangle. So I'm going to go to File and New. And I'm going to just take whatever the size is and click OK. So what we've got is a rectangle, but it's way too deep. I don't want it quite that tall. So I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. So I'm just going to go up here to the box area and click on it to activate it. And I'm going to click and drag right here. And I'm going to make it like this type of rectangle right here. That's what I'm looking for. Maybe a little bit taller. So like that. And once I get that box the way I want it, I'm going to go to Image. And I'm going to go to Crop to Selection, which means it's going to get rid of everything that's not inside that box that I drew. So when I click Crop to Selection, now I've got the perfect size for my banner at the top. So I'm just getting started. Now I can do whatever I want to with this space. I can keep it blue. I can change it to any color I want. I can add some images. So let's go ahead and start doing that. So this is going to be fast, down, and dirty. I'm not going to teach you everything about GIMP, but I want you to watch me as I build this banner so you can see how easy it is. And then if you want to use GIMP, all you need to do is go to YouTube and type GIMP tutorials and get ready, because there's thousands and thousands of them, and you're going to learn some really, really cool stuff in GIMP. So the first thing I want to do is I want to change the color of it to white, because I just like the white better. So I'm going to take the paint can and I'm going to do like this, and Shazam, it's white. That simple. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the Builderall logo right here. So I'm going to go to File and Open as a layer. Okay, so this item right here where the white is a layer. I'm going to put another image on top of it as another layer. So I'm going to say Open as Layer. And I'm going to see if I can find my Builderall logos. So I'm going to go into D and then Builderall and then Graphics. There we go. We're getting closer right there. And then I'm going to type an L for logo. And let's see if we've got some logos. So we got this one right here. No. This one here. That's the old one. This one here. Yeah, we'll do Team Awesome. That sounds good. That's my team. So I'm going to click Open. And there's my Team Awesome logo. And now I can click and kind of drag it over to the side, just like this. There we go. And I'm going to make it a little bit bigger because I can, just like this. Yay. And let me scale it. Whoops. Let me do that. I do Control Z, and that will undo what I just did. And I have to do Select and None. When I do that, then it'll allow me to make it grow like it's supposed to, just like that. That looks good. And I'll scale it. And now I'm going to drag it over to right about there. So that's awesome right there. Perfect. And now maybe I want to put the cheetah logo there. So I'm going to go back to File and Open as a layer. So I'm going to create another layer inside this image. And I'm going to look for my cheetah logo. Let me see if I can find it. So cheetah. See, that's not it. Cheetah image. There it is right there. So I'm going to click Open. And now it's like really huge, right? Way too big for this image. So what I need to do is I need to actually make it smaller. So I'm going to use this little button right here to make it smaller. I'll click on that and then just start dragging it to make it smaller. And that's called scaling. And then I'm going to click Scale. And I'm going to click the button to move it and click and drag. And Shazam, I now have a new header for my email. Very, very simple, you guys. It's actually not very hard to learn GIMP. And this would be a pretty good start to creating your own headers. So now all I do is click File and Save, or actually Export. And I'm going to export it as a PNG. So let me find the place that I want to put it. So I'll go to my graphics area. So graphics. There we go. And we'll call this number 1 untitled, so we can find it easy. So 1 untitled. There we go, 1 untitled.png, and I'll export it and export it again. And now that's actually available for me to be able to pull in as a graphic. Now you can change the color of this background to anything that you want, so it doesn't have to be white. You can put bars at the top. You can put a decorative background on this. It's whatever you want it to be. You decide what you want your email headers to look like. And then what I usually do is create a bar that's the same color as something in the header, so that I have a nice bar to show clearly where the end of the email is. So I'm going to show you how I create that too, because it's pretty easy. So all I do is go to File and New. And I do the exact same thing that I did here. I just take the default and click OK. That's too big. I don't like it. So I'm going to put the little box there. And I'm going to drag it a little bit smaller. So it's just a bar. It's not a big old header or big old footer. It's just a bar. So there we go. Now I'll click image and crop to selection. So that's going to take rid of everything that is there except for what's highlighted, just like that. And now I can change the color to whatever I want it to be. And let's be creative. We'll maybe do, I don't know, a dark blue, because dark blue is my favorite color. So there's the dark blue color. I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to do that paint can again, and I'm going to color it that dark blue. So that's my bar to go at the bottom. And I'm going to click File and Export. And I'll call this one bar. There we go. And then Export and Export. And now both of those images that I just created are saved, and I can add them to my template. So let's go ahead and do that next. So I'm going to jump into my template again, right here, just like that. And up at the top is where I'm going to put my header. So I'm going to click on the image, and then I'm going to click Load Image. And I'm going to find where that image is at. So I'm going to go here, and then Graphics, and I think it was one to Untitled. So there it is right there. I'm going to click on it and open. And there it is. So there's the header of that email. And then I'll go down here to the bottom, and I'll make this image the bar. So I'm going to click Load Image, and I'll find the bar. That's right here, and open, and Shazam. Now I have a header right there and a footer right there. And one of the things you can do is I didn't create like a divider color right there. So I can actually add another image block. Let me do that, add another image block. And I can do the bar right here as well. So if I load the image and add the bar, there we go. So now I have that image and a bar, and then the content of my email, and then another bar. So you can see the beginning of the email and the end of the email, okay? Let me look at your eyeballs and see if you guys have any questions. Chip, question?
Is there an advantage to GIMP over just creating what you just did in a random page in Cheetah with a box and a couple of images?
And then just take a screenshot of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can absolutely do that. Either way is fine. I absolutely love GIMP. What I do with GIMP is usually I'm making more than one. So I make the actual design, and then I hide the layer that I don't want in the next design and put something else in. So I can keep all those settings that I have and just change one layer. So I'm pretty good with GIMP.
Okay.
That's my happy place. Any other questions? All right, now let's talk about how we can save this bad boy and make sure that it's available for any emails that we're creating. So I'm going to show you how to save the template and then how to pull it into an email to be able to use it. So I'm going to go to share my screen again. And to save this is actually really easy. All I need to do is come up with a name. So I'm going to call it Team Awesome and a Most Awesome Template. Here we go. And then I'm going to scroll down here, and I'm going to click Save Changes. And what that's going to do is it's going to save in my template list, and now I have it available. So let's make sure it's saved. So I'm going to go to Menu, Templates, and My Templates. And there it is right there, Team Awesome and a Most Awesome Template. So right there, it is ready for me to use. If I want to make an edit to it, like maybe I want to change the way the header looks, or I want to add a divider somewhere, or I want to add a standard picture that I'm going to use in all of my templates, or I want to add content that I'm going to use in all of my templates, all I need to do is click this little update button. It opens the template up again so that I can do whatever I want to do with it. And then once I'm done, I click Save Changes, and everything that I've done saves to that template, and I'm able to use it with the changes in any future emails, okay? So now let's take a look at how we can add this to an email. So the way this works is you can start a campaign. So I'm going to go to Campaigns and All Emails. And this is one way to do it. So I'm teaching you a couple different ways to do it. So from here, I'm going to create a new campaign. So remember that an email sequence is one or more emails. An email campaign is one email. So when we say email campaign, that means I'm creating one email. So I'm going to click Create New. And I'll just name it. So Shelly's campaign email with a template. And then I get to decide, is it a regular email, meaning it's going to go out on a specific day at a specific time? Or is it an autoresponder email, meaning it goes out based on when that person subscribes? Okay, we'll just make this one a regular because we can. And then I have to choose the list that it's attached to. So I'm going to choose the list, and we'll choose the dog grooming list. And then the sequence. If I want this email as a part of a sequence, I can actually choose an existing sequence to add it to, or I don't have to choose a sequence at all. It can be just a standalone regular email. then I have the option to start doing a couple of really neat things. And I want you to pay attention because this is something that a lot of people don't know that you can do. The first one is adding a tag filter. When you're creating tags in MailingBoss and you have these tags available in your subscriber list, you can actually start filtering out who an email gets sent to. So for example, in my email list of my leads, I have everybody tagged according to what plan they have in Builderall. So if they have the premium plan, they have a premium tag. If they have a builder plan, they have the builder tag. So what I can do is I can click add tag filter and then click this button, and it will pull up all the tags that are associated with this list, or I can type in and create a new tag. So I'm just going to type in new tag like that. And then you have the option here to say must have the tag, which means they must have the tag to get this email, or must not have the tag, which means they cannot have the tag to be able to get this email. Or I can choose the tag is optional. So if they have it, if they don't, they'll get the email. Okay. So I can add as many tags as I want. So I can say everybody that has the premium tag and has the marketer tag gets this email. Everybody that has the premium tag and is an affiliate gets this email. Everybody that's a free website plan and a free affiliate gets this email. Okay, so you can see how powerful it is that I can start sifting and sorting who my emails go to. If I don't want to send it to any specific tag, I can just remove it, and there's no tags, which means it gets sent to everybody on the list. And then the next item that is super duper awesome, and that is if you have multiple subscriber lists in MailingBoss and you haven't merged them yet. And so you've got this subscriber list, that subscriber list, that subscriber list. So I picked the dog grooming subscriber list to send them to, but let's say that I have 2 more subscriber lists that I want to send this email to. I can choose here to add a new list and then choose another subscriber list in my available list in MailingBoss. So what that means, you guys, is that I can send to multiple lists at one time. That's huge, right? Just think about it. If you're putting everybody in separate lists, but you have an email that you want to go out to everybody, you can now choose all of the lists that you want to send this email to instead of sending one at a time. I actually found out today that there was a person that did not know this was a feature. And when I showed them this feature, they about fell out of their chair. They were so excited because up until now, they've been, when they send an email out that needs to go to every single list, they were sending one email out to this list, the same email out to this list, the same email out to this list. So they're literally setting it up one at a time instead of one time doing all the lists. So this is a very powerful, powerful tool. Okay. So now I'm going to click Save and Next. And here's my email template, right? So this is what comes in, and I can start building my email. But I don't have the template that I created in here. I have to pull it in. So all I do to do that is go right here to this magical button that says Change Template. If I click that, it gives me a list of all of the templates that I have available. So there they are. And all I need to do is click this one right here, the Team Awesome one that we created together, and click Choose. And now you'll see that it pulled in my template for me. And now all I have to do is add the content in of what I want to say to my team. And then when I'm done, I have to click Save and Next. What happens here is, and I want you to notice this because this is important to remember as well, this lorem ipsum, that's a common thing. It's a junk word that they use to just have text, dummy text in there. And the system looks for lorem ipsum. And if it sees lorem ipsum, it will actually not activate the email. So everybody, let me look at your eyeballs to make sure you know that, because this is kind of a tricky one to understand. So the default text in there is lorem ipsum, okay? If you don't change the wording and you just are testing and trying to see if this works, and you click Save and Next, it will tell you, I didn't save, I saved it, but I'm not going to activate it because you have lorem ipsum in there. And those are dummy words, so we're not going to send it. Okay, so you have to take those lorem ipsum words out. So to do that, it's really, really, really easy. All you do is go in here and let's start typing something. So I love Builderall, and I am so excited. Let me spell right, excited every day to get the chance to build amazing things with this, let me spell it right, with this platform. Fabulous. So I type that in, I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to just paste, 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 paste. There you go. So now this area right here, same thing, paste, paste, paste. And then right here, paste, 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 paste. And then same thing right here, paste, paste, paste. And I think, there we go. So that's fabulous. So now we don't have the lorem ipsum in there, and it's not going to give us an error when we go through and actually test all this and make sure that it is working correctly. So I've got everything filled out. The first thing I'm going to do before I'm done is I'm going to just click save. I'm not going to do save and next. I'm going to do save. And I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to look at the plain text version to see what it looks like. So I'm going to click down here. And now it shows me exactly what the plain text version is going to look like. Because believe it or not, there are people out there that don't get their email in HTML format, which is the dynamic text where you can define the font and you can add pictures. They're still on just plain text format. So you can take a look at it and make sure that it looks okay. If there's something that doesn't look okay, then you got to look back up here and make a change. Okay. So just make sure you take a quick look at your plain text version, and then you can hide it again, and then you can go to save and next. And now your template is saved and ready to go with your new email content. So you're going to check to make sure that the from name is correct, the from email is correct, the reply to email is correct. This one is a field tag, so you don't have to change the to name. But then you need to put a subject. So Shelly's subject, easy peasy. And once you filled out the subject of that email, then you're going to click save and next. And then it says, when do you want to send it? Now we chose the regular email. So for a regular email, that's the same as a broadcast email. And that's a one-time email. It goes out on one day at one time to everybody on your list. So everybody gets it at the same time. So I just click here to pick the day and the time. So I'll pick the 10th at 2:00 p.m., just like that. And then once I pick it, I can choose to send an email test to myself to make sure that everything looks okay when it opens up. So you can click send email, put your email in, and send a test to yourself to take a look at it. And then once you determine that everything's okay, you can then do save and activate. And what's going to happen is it's going to get ready to send on the 10th. So you can see it's pending sending right there. And it will send using that template that you pulled in. You can do the same thing when you're doing an email sequence. So let's go ahead and go into workflows, and we'll create an email sequence, and I'll show you how you can do it from workflows. Okay, so I'm going to go into workflow, and I'm going to create a new workflow. So Shelly's new workflow, and I'm going to pull a list in there just like this, and then I'm going to click to decide what list I want to use, and I'm just going to use the dog groomer one again because that's the best one to use. And then I'm going to click this green arrow, and I'm going to choose to create a new email sequence. And I'm going to create a new sequence. So the name of it is Shelly's new email sequence. It's on the dog groomer list. I'm going to send it to future subscribers only. And let's say that we want 2 emails in this email sequence. So I'm going to put the number 2 and then create. And what it does is in the background, it creates 2 emails for me, but they're empty. There's nothing in there. There's absolutely nothing in there. So I need to edit those emails to start getting them ready to send. So I'm going to click this little edit bar right here. And that opens up some items that I can choose. And I'm going to click email information and filter tags. So when I click that first one, I can start setting up the information for the email. And if you'll notice, it's the same thing that we went through in the other way that we did it. So it's the same thing, just a different way to do it. Okay. So I can set up my tags. I can set up additional lists that I want to send to. And then once I'm done, I click save and next. And then I get the same email editor. And here I can grab that template and I can choose it. And that pulls it in for me. Then I have to change the information, right? So I have to go in here and copy and paste, 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 paste. And there we go. This one, paste, paste. And this one, paste, and paste, and paste. And then this one, paste, and paste. Fabulous. So now we have lorem ipsum out of there. And then we can go down here and click save and next. And just like the other one, we have to verify all this information and then set up a subject line. So I'll keep it welcome message for this first one, and then click save and next. And now this one is a sequence, right? The first one we did was a regular email, which meant it went out at a specific day at a specific time to everybody. This one is a sequence, which means it's going to go out based on when the person subscribes. So after they subscribe, when do I want this to send? And if this is the welcome email, I want it to send on 0 days, which means I want it to send out immediately. So they sign up, let's get it sent. Okay. I'm going to send it to future subscribers only. I'm going to activate it immediately. So the time that it puts in there is the immediate time. You can choose to send yourself an email test. So you click that, put your own email address in there, and it will send you a copy so you can make sure it looks good. And then when you're done, you just click save and activate. And now that email is ready to go using that template that you created. So the first one's ready, and I want you to notice it says active. That's really important. I get a lot of people that tell me, Shelly, my emails are not sending. And when we go take a look, they're paused. They're not active. So the difference between these two right now, this one's active. So if someone subscribes to this list, they're going to get this email. This one is paused, meaning they're not going to get the email. It's not going to send because I have not activated it yet. So let's do this second email. So I click the little edit bar and I go into email information and filter tags. And I do the same exact thing. If I want to add some tag filters, I do that here. If I want to send to additional lists, I do that here. And then I go to save and next. There's my email. So I click change template and I grab my Team Awesome template and drop it in there. And now I do some editing. So I'll click in here and paste and paste and paste and paste and paste. And then I'll do the same here. And I'll do the same here. And I'll do the same here. So we can get rid of that lorem ipsum. There we go. And now everything's ready to go. So I'll click save and next. And then I'll verify everything here and come up with the subject line. So the subject line is something like welcome to email number 2. And then I'll click save and next. And now I get to decide, when does this one send? So the first one was the welcome email, and I sent that on 0 days. So it meant immediately. So this one, when do I want it to send? Do I want it to send a couple hours after they subscribe? Do I want it to send 1 day after they subscribe, 2 days after they subscribe? So typically what I do in my situation is I send the welcome email out right away, and then I send the next one out 1 day later. So just 1 day later. And here's another interesting thing is autoresponder send hour. So let's say I subscribe at 5 o'clock in the evening. Well, if you keep this as same as subscription, then this will send 1 day later at 5 o'clock in the evening. Okay, so it's the same hour as the subscriber originally subscribed. But that's not always the best time to send, right? Because it depends on how often people open their email. So one of the things that I like to do is change from same as subscription to 8 o'clock a.m. That is, to me, a great time to send it because it's first thing in the day and likely that they're going to see it and open it early in the day. So 8 o'clock a.m. And this is triggered by my time that I have set in Mailing Boss. So in your personal profile, you need to set your appropriate time zone, and it will send according to time zones, okay? And then I'm sending it to my future subscribers. It's going to activate immediately. So if a person subscribes, this is going to activate immediately, and it will keep looking for 1 day after they subscribe, and then it'll send at 8 o'clock a.m. I can send myself a test, and then once I'm happy with it, just click save and activate. And Shazam, now email number 2 is ready. So workflows are a great way to handle your email sequences, and you have the ability when you're editing the emails to pull in the template that you created so that you can continue using that design for your emails. Okay, let me go ahead and stop sharing and see if you guys have any questions. Any questions? Nope.
I don't have a question, but I've been with Builderall for 1.5 years. I knew nothing about the workflow.
Really? Oh my God.
Nothing. I mean, I've seen it, but I just I was like, I'm learning too much. I'll learn that later.
It speeds it up so fast when you create an email sequence.
I see that. I don't know.
Way faster. You can create a subscriber list on the fly. You can create emails on the fly. And it's a great one place to look at all of your emails and jump into a single email and edit, and then a single email and edit. There's another way you can do it where you have all the emails on the side, but that's kind of wonky and tricky sometimes. It doesn't always do exactly what you expect it to do.
Yeah, because that's how I do it every time.
Workflows are beautiful. You will love workflows.
I am diving in tonight as soon as the training's over.
Great. That is so wonderful. I'm so glad I got to show that to you tonight.
Oh, you always teach me something new.
I know, right? It never ends.
I know. That's really true. It never ends. I never stop learning new stuff. And then as soon as I think I have kind of a grasp, they go create something new and blow my mind.
I know, right? This one's a great one. When we got workflows, I just about cried because the other way is, like I said, it's wonky. You've been using the other way. It's just a little bit wonky and you're not sure if you're in the right email. And Am I editing the second one or is it the third one? Did I activate that one? You just kind of second guess yourself when you're working in that one. There's no second guessing on this one. And let me show you something else about this that's really cool. I'm going to share my screen one more time. On the workflow, you can see the name of the email. You can see that it's an autoresponder and it's after they subscribe. You can tell what day that it goes out and you can see if it's active. So that information is critical to make sure it's ready to go and active for sending out to your list. If you need to change anything, you can click any of these three and you can get to what you need to get to. So let's say that this one you worked on it, but it's still in pause mode because you weren't ready for it to send. You can click this little clock and it just opens only the information on activating. And so you make sure everything's correct here. You make sure the status is active and click OK. And that's all you need to do to activate it once everything is edited. So what I usually do, Bridget, is I edit all of mine to make sure that they are exactly what I want them to be, but I keep them all in pause mode. And then when I'm happy that I've got everything set up the way I want it and it looks great, I just click that little clock and activate, and then click the next one, activate. And then right there, everything's done and ready to go, and it's active for new subscribers. Okay?
So it's like Canvas for Mailing Boss.
It is. It's been here for, well, we've had this for a year and a half.
I know. It's so crazy how many times I've just skipped over it and I'm like, I'll just.
Yep.
I'll do it
we just make your life a lot easier.
Yeah, well, always.
It's so great.
Thank you so much for the value.
You're so welcome. Let me get Frankie and then I'll move to the next one. So Frankie, go ahead.
Shelly, I have an email sequence
Mhm.
that I have sent out testing just as a test.
Mhm.
Everything shows that all of my emails have been sent. Everything looks good, except when I go into the email that I'm using as a test, nothing is there. I've checked spam, I've checked the trash can, everything else. Can you think of anything that I could do to another check maybe?
Yeah, here's what I want you to do is I want you to send it to one of your professional emails that you have on Builderall. So you have to use a Rainloop account to do that, right? So you have to create an email, jump into Rainloop and receive the email there. And I'm betting you'll see it arrive there. I know that they've had issues before with some of I can't remember if it's Gmail or Yahoo or something, but send it to a Rainloop email, one of your professional emails, and see if it gets sent there. And then you'll know that it's definitely sending out. Okay?
Right. Okay, I'll do that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome so much. Roberto, I think you had a question.
Thank you, Shelly. Do you remember or do you know if that issue where you get those emails sent out to the current people in your listing has been fixed?
Actually, no, I don't know. I did ask about it, but they have not messaged me back, or I don't remember. They did respond, but I don't remember what the response was. So I'll put it in my notes to check that again. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for reminding me, actually. Dominic, go ahead.
Yeah, two things real quick. Bridget, there's an awesome training on Mailing Boss we did in a boot camp, actually two of them. One was a lead magnet and the other one was email marketing, and they were fantastic. And we did the flows, or if you want to know how to do the flows, perfect. Okay. And then I was going to ask, we were talking about it in the chat. So the person that about fell out of his chair, was it Tyree?
No, it wasn't Tyree. So I've got like a Tyree Jr. Yeah, they were actually really excited. So and it shortened their work big time. So they were really excited that you could grab more than one list at a time to send to, and that is relatively new. I mean, it's not brand spanking new, but it hasn't been there a really long time. But it is a great feature because if you've got separate lists, but you want to send an email to everybody, no matter if they're on the same list or not, it allows you to grab more than one and send at the same time. Okay. I think Chip had a question. Go ahead, Chip.
First was a fantasy that perhaps in the workflow, if something was paused, the border of that little box could be a different color, like a dark gray.
That's a really good idea, because I am 54 years old, you guys, and my eyeballs are just not as good as they used to be. And that active and pause is so fling and small, it's really hard to see. So what I would do, Chip, is definitely send that request in for a ticket. So just take an image of the screen to show how small it is, and explain that old people like Shelley Turner can't see it very well. And could they do a border or something like that would show maybe a little bit better that item is active or paused. Okay.
Yep. And the second thing was to inquire of you whether what kinds of things sending a test email might warn you about, other than if it doesn't arrive?
Sending a test email lets you know exactly what it's going to look like when it arrives. So if you've ever built emails that have a lot of content in them, you get a little nervous, right? You're like, is that picture going to show right? Is that text going to show right? Is it going to line up right? There's just a lot of nervousness about, I want this to look good, so I'm going to make sure it looks good by sending it to myself first so I can see how it's going to render. Plus, like in my email, the images are not there. I have to click the button to actually allow the images to show. So I see how it looks when it comes in and then click the button and the images show. So I can just kind of get a really good idea of what my email is going to look like when it does go out. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Chris?
Yeah, I have a question, but just to answer Chip too, it's a good way to check your links, make sure your links are working the correct way too, and where it's
Absolutely.
going.
Good.
Right.
My question is, with that time, I get always confused by that when to send it when they subscribed or pick a time.
Mhm.
Now that would be sent at my time, not the time of that
Yeah,
particular person.
it's gonna mark it in the system, but if you set your system to your local time and then you choose 8 o'clock, then you know what time it's going out. It's gonna be going out at 8 o'clock your time, even if they subscribe at like 22 o'clock their time, right? It still marks it in your account as whatever your time is locally. So if they sign up at 5 o'clock your time and it's 22 o'clock their time, it's going to mark it in the system as 5 o'clock your time.
No, I get that, but so if I have it 8 o'clock on the East Coast and I'm sending it, the person who's getting it is on the West Coast, they're still going to get it. Then they're going to get it 5 o'clock in the morning, my time.
Yeah, they will.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Hold on, let me see if I can say that. Media Click, Mr. Media Click.
Hi everyone, my name is Mohammed Shah. I'm from Down Under, Sydney, Australia here.
All right.
And today is my first day. So please,
Wow, congratulations and welcome. Everybody give him a round of applause. Woohoo! Yay! We're glad you're here.
so the first question would be, I'm just setting up my mailing box. So default sending email address, can I use that as my business address, like my business email address?
You can, but there's a caveat to that. You need to make sure that whatever your sending address is, it's a verified domain in MailingBoss and it's a verified professional email. So you'll have to connect that domain to Builderall and you'll have to verify it once it's connected, and then you'll have to verify whatever professional email you create. So inside of the dashboard, if you go to apps and go to professional emails, you can create an email off of any domain that you connect, and then you verify that email. And that's necessary so that it's a valid email that you're sending from in the MailingBoss system. Okay, I've got some training on that. So just look that up on the Builderall USA YouTube channel. Just type in professional email, setting up your email in MailingBoss, all of that's there. There's also some training in the back office under MailingBoss. If you click training, several emails are under that area, okay?
So now example, my website is on WordPress and it's hosted somewhere else.
Okay.
So I can bring that domain to Builderall, right?
If you bring that domain to Builderall, if you point the name servers to Builderall, it will no longer be connected to WordPress, so that they won't be able to find that WordPress site. So you'd have to rebuild in Builderall if you wanted to do that. So another option is, if you don't want to rebuild, then point your host records towards that WordPress site, but get your MX records pointed towards Builderall. Your MX records are your email records. And you can point those towards Builderall and then create your professional email and get it verified.
Thank you. So that's option one. Otherwise, I can just use Outlook or Gmail to send and receive, yeah?
I haven't tried to connect an outside email yet. Someone has said that you can. Has anybody connected an outside email to verify in MailingBoss? No. So I'm not real sure. You know what? Let's test it right now. Let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And I'm going to go to MailingBoss. I'm going to go to menu. And I'm going to go to sender emails. And look at all my emails, you guys. I've got a lot of them. So I'm going to click create new. And sender name, Shelly Turner. And sender email, skydivingdiva@yahoo.com. That is a valid email I have. So I'm going to click save changes. And there's the answer right there. I thought I'd seen that before, but I just want to make sure that the email has to come from a verified domain. So you have to actually point a domain towards Builderall or verify your host records to have it verified in MailingBoss. And then you can connect your email. There's a couple ways to verify a domain. Let me go back and tell you that. It's a little wonky, a little hard to understand. But if you don't want to point your name servers towards Builderall, then you have to create some records on wherever your domain is hosted to be able to verify those records so that it verifies the domain, and then you can verify your email.
Okay, thank you, Shelley. So if I don't put anything in there, the software will just use Mailing Boss domain, yeah?
Yeah,
Or email.
exactly. And if it uses the default Mailing Boss email, which is a really wonky, weird looking email, chances are it's going to end up in spam.
Okay,
So you definitely want to try to connect a domain and then use a professional email.
okay. Thank you.
And that's a lot of stuff too, Mohammed, because when you start to send emails out on a professional domain, you want to start conditioning that email so that it will get into the inbox all the time. And conditioning means that you've got emails that will be open and that have links in there that will be clicked. That's another reason why when you create your template, you do want to have, especially if you're sending to Builderall people, you do want to have some links on there that they can click to go to the dashboard and go to the blog and go to whatever. Because every time they open that email and click on something, your email reputation goes up, which means you have a much higher chance of staying in that inbox instead of getting shipped to spam.
Okay.
Okay.
Or other option is I can just register another domain and use that.
You can.
Leave my,
You absolutely can.
my personal one as it is and just create a brand new one and
That's
go
right.
from there.
You absolutely can. Yes.
Thank you, Shelley.
You're so welcome. And congratulations on jumping into Builderall. And I would like to invite you every Tuesday night to join us. It's party time every Tuesday night.
Okay, I'll be there. I will book myself in and I'll join you guys.
All right,
and
that sounds good.
Need help and support from you all.
Awesome. That sounds good. Can't wait to see you again next week.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Anybody else have questions or comments? Mary, go ahead.
Is there a way where we can separate our leads coming in, going in separate email list in Builderall?
There is not, but every time I get a lead that comes in, I go in manually and type in a tag on what plan they're on. So they're either free, they're builder, they're marketer, essential, or premium. And then if they upgrade to affiliate or they add affiliate, then I add that tag to them as well. So I can actually take all of my leads that I have, and if I want to send one email to all of my affiliates, then I can send an email and send only to that tag, and it will go out to all of my affiliates. I do get a lot of leads, but I have a couple of VAs that actually keep track of that for me. So as they're coming in, they'll go into Mailing Boss and set those tags for me.
Okay, good. Because when you have a lead coming in, you want to send an email right away because they're checking right away. But the only thing you can do is send a welcome email and then go and separate them if ever you want to send other emails and other lists. So I was wondering if it was possible to separate it right away when they come in. But
no, it isn't really possible to do it right away. You do have to do it manually. But I would suggest that even though you can't separate them right away, I would still set up several emails that are pretty generic emails that can work for the free plan all the way up to the premium plan, and let them know about you. Let them know about things that they need. They're going to need Facebook group links. Yeah. So you can do that in a series of emails. And I've got 7 emails that go out, and they're really generic emails. And really, I'm just talking about me. They're not anything spectacular. They're just me contacting them so I can have that connection with them. And you can see those emails if you go to the resource area, and there's a Trello board that's available, and you can click on those emails and check them out just to kind of see an example of what I send. Okay?
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions or comments, you guys? Chris, go ahead.
I know we have on Cheetah, we have the new Captcha thing for the email contact form, but can we do that for the Mailing Boss yet? To have a Captcha?
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. I totally missed that. So somebody else actually showed that to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I totally missed it. So let's take a look at both of those, and let me just explain to you guys what a reCAPTCHA is. And that is when you have a form that people have to fill out to be able to either join your subscriber list or even in the Magic Funnel, and you put that out on the internet, there's a very real possibility that a bot will find it. And when a bot finds it, what it does is it fills out the form itself with junk information, and then actually submits the form. And what it's trying to do is see if it'll send it to another page where it can get free stuff, or to get access to information that maybe that person shouldn't have. So there's these bots all over the place, right? Just all over the place. And they will freak you out when you actually have a bot fill out your form, because it will look like you just got 565,000 leads and it's a bot. Okay, so you can actually block those bots pretty well by using reCAPTCHA. So I'm going to show you how you can activate the reCAPTCHA for the contact form and for the email marketing form. So I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen, and then I'll go ahead and open up Cheetah. We'll let that load, and we'll see if we can find a test website real quick, and we'll open it up, and there we go, test button. That sounds good. And on the page, we'll go ahead and edit the page. And I'm going to go ahead and pull in a form here. So let's just create a new box. I'm going to go to add panel and blank panel at the bottom. We'll kind of play with it right here. And I'm going to go ahead and add a contact form first. So I'm going to go to elements, and I'm going to go down to contact form, and I'm just going to pull the first one in. And then right here, I'm going to click on the actual form, and that gives me my mini toolbar. And then right here, the fourth little icon on the mini toolbar, I click set fields. When I do that, it comes up with a reCAPTCHA site key and a reCAPTCHA secret key. So you need those two things to be able to set up reCAPTCHA. And to set up those keys, all you do is click right here. There's a little blue, little bitty text link. So you click that, and it takes you to reCAPTCHA, which is through Google, and you label it. So I'm just going to label it Shelly. And then you can choose what type, version 3 or version 2. One is with a challenge, one is with a score. So I'm just going to click score. You can test both of them to see which one works for you. So add the domain. I'm just going to type in buildwithall.com because I can. And then I'm the owner, so it's cardinaldiva@gmail.com. I'm going to accept the terms, and then I'm going to go ahead and click submit. And now it gives me two keys. I've got a site key and a secret key. So I'm going to copy the site key, and then I'm going to come back over here to Cheetah, and I'm going to put that in. And then I'm going to go back and get the secret key, and I'm going to come over here and put that in. And then you can save, and Shazam, you've got reCAPTCHA. So if I click save, you'll see that it says error because it's not on the live site. But once you go save it and then go to the live site, it actually works beautifully. So that's the contact form. Now let's take a look at the email marketing form, because it's a little bit trickier. So I'm going to go to add elements, and we'll find the email marketing form. So I'm going to click that. I'm going to grab that first one, just like that. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to click the list that it belongs to. And I'm going to click that little star right there. So set list. And right up here, do you see that, Chris? I totally missed it as well, so don't feel bad. But right here, you click it, and then you can click that link to get your reCAPTCHA site key and secret key, just like we did in the contact form. And then when you're done, click save, and then that's ready for reCAPTCHA as well. Okay, so that is how you do reCAPTCHA for the contact form and the email marketing form. Got it? Yeah, I blew right through it and did not see where that little bitty reCAPTCHA. Right, any other questions or comments? All right, so, oh, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I didn't know if anybody had a question about the CAPTCHA. Who was it? I think it was Sabrina. She had to jump off, but I think she's going to watch the replay.
Oh, awesome.
She had asked a question. It was about the Trello board, how to access it, but she thought she was automatically, because she has the premium plan, that she was automatically an affiliate, but she would have to opt in to be an affiliate, correct?
Yeah, and it's so easy. I mean, it's literally just go up to the menu at the top and click affiliates. And
that's what I told her,
activates. Yeah, so she'll automatically activate as an affiliate at that point, and then she can go to that left-hand menu and click branding kit. That will take her to the elements page, and then the resource board is on there, so she can click that to get to the Trello board.
Yep, great, thank you.
You're
and then
so
the only
welcome.
other thing I had at the beginning of the meeting, you talked about having a template for Mailing Boss. Is that more for just the ease of use, or is it a combination of that and congruency, which we always talk about?
Yeah, I would say ease of use. It's way easier to have a template built, so you don't have to keep pulling in those elements every time. Congruency, definitely, because you can imagine now as people are getting the new Builderall emails, there's going to be congruency in those emails. If you're on the premium plan, every single email you get is going to have the premium plan header on the top. So that just makes it look more professional. But then I think there's another thing that is important, and that is if you're going for that full-blown newsletter type look, right? There's a lot of people that want to do like a weekly newsletter, weekly update, almost like a blog entry. And if you're doing that, you can pre-create the sections that you do for every single newsletter. So if you know you're building a newsletter and you want to do word of the day, and then the next section is highlighting an affiliate, and then the next section is highlighting a product, and you know you want that in every single email that goes out that once a week for that update, you can pre-create that, and then it's ready for you so that you can get it done faster. And again, you've got that congruency every time. It looks, the design is the same. Okay, got it. Okay. It's awesome. I love it. I've been using it for quite a while, and I absolutely love that we can create our own templates. And it's very easy to do.
Look, hey, they designed a platform for you all. What you want, what you need is Builderall. Build it up, we just answering your call. We're the one-stop shop if your back's against the wall. Yeah, you're a Builderall rock star. Hey, you can build it all, go hard. Sign up and you'll see we got it all. We're the one-stop shop if your back's against the wall. Look, if you're trying to build the name of your brand that came with a plan, get your name in demand. With Builderall, you can save your day in advance. Keep the apps automated so you barely need to glance. Listen, think of all the power that you hold. It's a new globe, everyone is grabbing for their phones. Imagine the control, build your passion on your own. And the more that you connect, the more attraction they will show. Not only a sales funnel, look, this is more advanced. This will help you compete, but have the upper hand. Keep your products in demand. It's all in one spot. You don't have to calculate and feel afraid with your thoughts. Automate your response. Drag and drop your site, or click map your fans, see the pages they like, or use the video wrap or capture their sites. Design your own app from scratch, just how you like. Yeah, they designed a platform for you all. What you want, what you need is Builderall. Build it up, we just answering your call. We're the one-stop shop if your back's against the wall. Yeah, you're a Builderall rock star. Hey, you can build it all, go hard. Sign up and you'll see we got it all. We're the one-stop shop if your back's against the wall. Design with y'all in mind, let entrepreneurs shine. Tired of the 9 to 5, you starting your own grind, and it's alright. They got the tools you need. The connection they designed is truly unique. Never been able to express my views with ease. I move, release, double click, and knew I'm pleased. My clients as well, tired of the hoops and leaps. Too many things in the way of my truth and dreams. A Builderall rock star is what you really are. Tune in on the internet will make you a star. You don't need to study hard, all it takes is a start. Work every day and move higher till you way off chart. Stay on, never sleep on none of the apps. It's a free sign up just so you know in advance. Builderall's for the legends, nothing's holding you back. You got the tools and the plan, you can stay on track. Believe that. They designed a platform for you all. What you want, what you need is Builderall. Build it up, we just answering your call. We're the one-stop shop if your back's against the wall. Yeah, you're a Builderall rock star. Hey, you can build it all, go hard. Sign up and you'll see we got it all. We're the one-stop shop if your back's against the wall.